Good morning, folks. Hope you're well. It's Friday morning again, and we're looking forward to coming together for worship this Sunday morning. This week has been what's been called our Refresh Week in PCI, and we as ministers have been encouraged to take a little bit of time, reflect, and be refreshed. Take time for our own souls, and take a little bit of a step back from normal things. And as part of that Refresh Week, our moderator, David Bruce, has prepared a talk for our Sunday morning services, and we're going to be sharing in that this Sunday. I encourage you to come along. It is a talk for the whole church. It's a talk to encourage us and to challenge us as to what the future holds and what might lie ahead for us as we emerge from these days of pandemic. So I encourage you to come along, come join with us in worship in the building. Everything else will be live in the building. And so I encourage you to come and join with us in worship or online if you feel you can't manage that. Let me also encourage you to pick up this book if you haven't already, called Love Your Church. Free copies are available in the reception area and in the main hall as well. If you haven't got your copy yet, please do pick one up. There are still some available. And if you would like me to drop one around to you, please just get in touch. I've been reflecting a lot on the church and what it is, and reading that book and thinking about who we are and what we are as church and what we're to be as we move forward. And one of the passages that comes to mind is from Ephesians chapter 4. It expresses the unity that there should be in the life of the church. Paul writes this: I, therefore, a prisoner for the Lord, urge you to walk in a manner worthy of the calling to which you've been called, with all humility and gentleness, with patience, bearing with one another in love, eager to maintain the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one Spirit, just as you were called to the one hope that belongs to your call, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is over all and through all and in all. Paul's talking about the unity of the church there and about our connectedness to one another. A couple of weeks ago, I sat down to watch, or last week maybe, sat down to watch the Friends reunion show. Some of you will maybe have watched that or seen it. You've certainly seen it talked about in the media. And that Friends reunion show, of course, brought back memories for all those people who watched Friends the first time round. Friends was an American sitcom. It ran from 1994 to 2004 about this group of six friends living in New York in their 20s and sort of navigating all of the kind of social and relationship issues that they all had. As I thought back on it and thought back on that decade, 1994 to 2004 was a pretty formative decade for me. I graduated from Dundee University in 1995, went on to Union and graduated from there in 98. In the middle of all that, got married, started ministry then in Ballygowan and in First Bangor, and of course had our first child. So a big change from who I was in 1994 to who I was in 2004. And that change kind of reflects as well the journey of the six friends in Friends. The creators of the show say that that Friends is about that time in your life when your friends are your family, when you rely on them, when you trust them, when you kind of they seem closer almost because they're the ones who are going through all these experiences with you and supporting you through them all. And I can identify with that. I can Think back to my time in Dundee when we were all away from home and we were sort of depending on one another to navigate us through these university days. But friends can come and go, of course. Friends can be in your life for a season and then not. But family is different. We are in families united by something else, something more than just a common interest or whatever. We are united by DNA, perhaps, or by a covenant of marriage that we've promised to one another, or by adoption. But it's something deeper, a deeper connection in family than just friendship. And friendship is incredibly valuable. Friendship is incredibly important. But there's something in family which bonds us together, which goes beyond that. Church, whenever you look at it, is not first and foremost, at least, a group of friends. Most of the time we like each other, but we're not first and foremost a group of friends. We're a family. We have all kinds of differences with one another. We have different politics, different interests, different likes, dislikes, come from different educational or cultural backgrounds, all kinds of things that we're different from one another on. And sometimes in church we disagree with one another. Sometimes in church we let one another down. But we're united. We're united by something, or rather someone, far more important than all our disagreements, all our dislikes, all our prejudices about one another. We're united by someone far more important than that. We're united in Christ. We are family in Christ. In Him, our differences are brought together. Paul goes on to talk about how the different gifts are brought together in the church to build the church up in unity. We develop, as we use those different gifts, a sense of belonging to Christ and to one another as family. And so together as family, we look to Him, we trust in Him, we worship Him, we serve Him, we glorify Him. That's what the church is. And we build one another up in love. We bear one another's burdens. We share one another's joys. We walk with one another through the tough times, as you've walked with me and we've walked together through these last 15 months or so. We do that as family. And we continue to do that as we worship together. And that's the high point of our family, when we meet together, when we have our family gathering on a Sunday. We meet together there to focus on Christ, who's called us as brothers and sisters into this family, and then to go out into the world to serve Him. That's what it is to be church. That's why, one of the reasons at least, why I love the church. Because we're that family, called together, brothers and sisters, to worship, serve and glorify Christ. Come and join with us as family, in person or online, this Sunday, as we worship Him. God bless.